All right. Sorry for the delay for anyone who was waiting. um, I had to schedule it before I drove in from out of state, and I was a little bit delayed. But anyway, I'm here now, and I guess there's a couple people here. Thanks for tuning in. Like I said, this is gonna be for day one of a 3-night stand, which the general theme is to get a whole bunch of sort of guest photos prepped and looking nice, so I can put them up on the Google Photos before they put in their stupid 15 megabyte caps now. So that's sort of the excuse of what's forcing me to go pedal to the metal. I've had a bunch of guest photos sort of hanging around since I finished all of the photos that I've had to do from between 2002 2005. I'm going to do a couple guest sets today. We're going to be doing some sort of logical renaming of photos that were of Thorn Tower that were provided to me in 2004, and then hopefully I can then do a fit in a second batch of photos from a Pascack Valley Line cab ride from 2007. So I hope you're all in for a good treat. And for anyone who isn't here today, I'm gonna have some additional neat stuff throughout the rest of the week. So anyway, let me make sure I have everything up. I should. So, like I said, this is going to be more renaming than editing. This is just because it's faster. These photos are of a resolution that there's really no point for me to go and waste my time trying to chop them down. They're all in that same sort of low res early 2000s era, and because they're tower interiors, I'm just gonna go for it. So the question is, what do I do with the renaming? So anyway, Thorn Tower. I think I have to probably show some pictures before we get going for anyone who's watching later in life. Thorn Tower, it's built in 1937, USNS CTC style interlocking machine. Where is it? Come on. You're seeing bits and pieces of it here, but it's here. Here's a big one. It's got wraparound consoles. It doesn't actually have a lot of 251, bidirectional track. But like I said, it's still operational today. They're starting to chip away at it, and I'm just gonna go and I've already done a video on Thorn. I think I've done 2 videos on Thorn, both in 2000. No, sorry, I've done a video from 2005, my photos, and I've also recently put up blog post when I visited the tower again in 2019, and I have videos of how this machine works. So this is fully covered, and I'm just going to get along with this. But the main question is just how do I avoid conflicts? But this won't be too hard. So anyway, this is the Callan end of the board. This used to be the west end of the yard. There were tracks onto it. All the tracks would feed into the 4-track going westbound. 2 tracks in both directions. It was chopped down in the 1970s or 80s, down to a single bidirectional track going westbound, and that was eventually removed around 2010. So by this point, and then now today it consists of this number 17 switch, maybe that 19, but they think they made that hand operated. By this time also, so at this point track 2 did exist. Also, it was before they had a little incident where someone accidentally routed a train down on number 5 running right there. I'll pull that up. Number 5 running is number 6 yard, and number 5 running. Number 5 running was accepted track, and they accidentally routed a train. An operator accidentally routed a train down it. So they pulled the jumper. So you could never display signals into 5 running again, and that was sometime around 2005. Again, my operator friend said that he believes he was one of the last people to ever route a train down, or properly route something into 5 running. So I just call this the Callan panel, Callan, C-A-L-N. So I said at this time you had the 17 switch, which was a double crossover. 15 was working, and I think 19 was, yeah, you can see it's still there. The 17, 19, and 19 and 21 switches were all still operational at this time at Calne. And that I said that eventually atrophied down into just the 17, 19, and a pair of signals. Next, here we have the Downs model board. It's a really nice, sharp image of the Downs model board. It's just really good for 2003. Downs is a Downing town. Like I said today, it's pretty. This 2-track is there, 3-track has been removed, and the 71 to 73 is just a single sort of switch thing. I think they probably have to I bet the operative would still have to throw both, but all it is a little loop-de-loop. The 69, of course, is still there. But at this point, you did have, again, 3-track with a single bidirectional going to the east, and 4 tracks, all single direction, going to the west. One second. Let's see here if there's anything actually displayed. Nah, nothing's displayed. Nothing's reversed, nothing displayed. Get that same thing. Here's the same one, just bright. Oops. Same thing, just soft. A duplicate. Yeah, see, it's just, I guess he just took a bunch of duplicates here. Again, everything is... Oh, it looks like the signal 70 has been thrown, but it has not popped back. It doesn't fleet, so it has to be reset. Sorry. Okay, here's one of the earlier photos I got. Just looking in, this is the operator station at Thorn. You can see how there's the original 1937 panel. Then when they put Fraser interlocking, they should have integrated it right in there and stuck it on top of one of the old servograph hotbox detectors. That hotbox detector is going to be, which one is that? It's there's one going towards Paoli. There's a dragger right there at milepost 22. Those draggers don't need the servograph readout. I'm not sure where that... Oh, I think that they added a hotbox detector. Yeah, I'm not sure where that hotbox detector went. But there is one coming inbound on track 4 over there. I think they added one. Anywho. Here we have behind the CTC console, we got the lockers. One interesting thing, when my friend worked there overnight, by the way, also note the position of the catenary section breakers there. My friend worked there overnight. There was very little action. There was usually just one freight train going down to serve the Green Giant plant in Atglin or elsewhere along the main line. So he would pop out the emergency stretcher, and I'm sorry if you've heard this story before, and he would just sort of go to sleep. But he would keep track of where the trains were based on the relay clicks from the console there. So when he could tell when his attention was actually needed, so then he would get up and do something. But it just shows you the benefits of keeping turnover high. People learn to do their jobs a little too well. Here we have the bathroom. the front right corner. Oh, this is not. This is the east. The front east corner. And there's your catenary section brakes. Those have also been. Those are no longer in service. Here's your opposite window with a telephone call box. Not sure what was in there. It says the supply locker. I guess it had the cookie, like the cleaning supplies and shit. Let me show you that thing again. This is the rear of the console looking the opposite direction. The supply of water notice board. Here's your Fraser. One second. AZ. No I in Fraser. Again, the Fraser, I talked about this last time, the Fraser panel was there. Fraser interlocking was that. That's the new terminus of the R5 service. It's interesting, like the R5 is like the busiest service. I know it has 2 terminals, but its terminals are like really, like you would not expect them to be this like low density or infrastructure or whatever. You know, it just sort of ends in a whimper ever since Paoli and its duck unders and multiple yard tracks sort of went away. Here's a really good photo of Fraser. Nothing pulled up, nothing reverse. And as you saw in the Cork photos, they're still installing panels of this type today. I'm not sure if they're made in-house or what, but they're still the brand new Cork panels still look like this. They look newer and they didn't have as much scratches. I mean, if you don't believe me, I have them in here somewhere. Here we go. Yeah, see? The new ones look exactly the same. How can they even keep... These must be the local control panels, too, because how else could you keep that... Could you keep that... your company in business? Same thing, just soft. Oh my God. And with a flash. What the? How many do you take? I think that's the aspect ratio is bad on that one. I should probably notice when these were taken. It was April 3rd, 2004. Might want to just also make a note of that here. 04, 04, 03. So here I have the Glen panel. Glenn at this point had just this is where the first iteration of the Trenton cutoff would join in, and then there was also then the low grade extension there. You can see the bridge at Whitford. As the 60s rolled around, that was maintained its freight line status, but the main line itself, with its higher grades, saw decreasing amounts of freight traffic. So in the PRR era, you can see how professionally it was done. Head center 2-track was made bidirectional, with the Glenn connector. I think that, I'm not sure if this was when this became 1-track, but it was clear that it was that whatever. It was designed for both those trains to access the 2-track. I have to go and find the diagram. I have the diagram. I don't need to pull it up. Anyway, this second track here was then converted into what we call the back door to Fraser Yard. That made 2-track's current number one job deadheads. They roll back from Thorn on 2, and they roll into the Fraser Yard. 2-track just it was down to a 1510 almost the entire way between. First off, it was out of service between Thorn and Downs for a long time. Then the rest of it from Down to Glen was 15 miles at 1510. And they finally have opened that all up. So now, if and when they have whatever service, they can just run deadheads with that all the way back on 2 at least 40 miles an hour, if not 60, which is swell. I need to get out to Exton. There's your Exton signals to get some pictures in case when the resignaling hits it all. There was another interlocking called Dale. That was the junction between the P&T extension and the Trenton cutoff right there. It was actually sort of a British style flat double track flat junction. I think it had a movable point diamond. Eventually, it turned into a controlled point. It would be basically just like a little. I mean, they didn't want to destroy the entire interlocking. They just turned it to sort of a controlled point, so Amtrak could have better control over what was entering or leaving its territory. Then they realized they didn't care, so they eliminated the whole Dale segment right there. Dale was there was one signal. I think it was this 109. No, that's a switch. The 110. Was it. The 109 switch and the 110 were the last ones at Dale. So, now it's like a point. Now it's like a sign out there. So, still pretty cool. I'm sorry if you've heard this all before. Going to go through all the iterations here, and yeah, this is where again we have the half between the Downs panel and the Thorn interlocking proper. Like I said, and again, if I pull up this thing here, you can see comes in at as of 1992, you had one signal, you had effectively 2 signals and one sort of split point derail. So trains entering Amtrak territory would sort of go through this fake derail, and then they would get to approach the interlocking. I guess that was some sort of like safety thing. Eventually, they lost interest, and they just would have the very infrequent freight trains run right up to that 102 signal. Probably keeping 99 reverse. If they really wanted to, they could just keep 99 reverse, because that train's not going anywhere. There's very little on number 2 track. By the way, that number 2 track is where I told you this before, where the runaway Acela got loose and rocked back and forth there a number of times until it slowed to a stop. I believe that, hold on here. Yeah, my friend was in the tower when that happened. It just, like, lights went on, and they went all the way down, and then they would come all the way back, and eventually there's a low point somewhere like right in there, and eventually it just stopped. They believe that a SEPTA crew hit the Acela train set that was there for maintenance, and it crushed the Dera. The Dera was found crushed, the portable one, and it just rolled out the back of the yard because there's no power derail on that switch or split point, so it just goes whoop right off onto the main 2. So. Adding a switch. Oh, Coates. What's the deal on Coatesville service? I'm assuming they'd run it out to Park. There's no way that they're going to install an interlocking that close. They're just going to run it to Park. I don't know why they wouldn't just make it Parksburg service. It's 4 miles farther. You're intentionally like that. That's where the service used to be. Actually, it's not 4 miles. It's 6 because they got to go 2 miles past Park. So I don't know what they're gonna do. It's bi-directional now there, so they could just have a train stop on the main and then reverse. But yeah, it got me. So here we just have. So, like I said, track 3 was removed at some point shortly. The track occupancy light, I'm pretty sure that the track was still there. The signals had just failed on, like the track circuit had just failed and nobody cared anymore. There's your what's left of your low grade line going in there. And then that's what I call the P&T tunnel. You'll know that anyone rides the main line. I had some pictures out there. This is all overnight. That's why nothing's displayed. This looks like it's the daytime, though. Oh, these are my photos. All right, I'm done with this. So, anyway, that's that section, but I got a bonus section coming up here of the NJT Pascack Valley line. In 2007. Let me just make sure I have them. I just got to pull them, make sure I have them ready. Ask me any questions you have about the Thorn Tower stuff. All that's kind of a reiteration, so I apologize for anyone who has heard that all before. So, what on earth? What's the Mac OS doing? I don't know. I don't need these. Go away. Okay, so like I said, this is stuff from a cab ride in 2007. I'm going to collect your questions in just a second, so I'll be right back. And it's just when they were about halfway done rebuilding the Pascack Valley line. And I'll get into as much as I know about that in just a second. Let me see if I have any questions. And no questions? Alright, I'm going to go get the magical diagram that you guys can't see. Whoa! Drop something. Come on. And I'll get that later. It's exciting. It's like radio adventures. Yeah, the NJT has these really great track diagrams, and they do update them. They occasionally appear on eBay for between $50 and $70 when they appear. The one I have, I believe, fell off a truck. Here, this Pascack Valley line. NJT's worst line. Actually, it's not anymore, but it used to be, by far. So, for those of you, Thorn is still open, yeah. Was just there about less than a month ago. So it's still holding on, and it's still got the air switches. You're going to see the air switches go first, and they still have a lot of the air switches hooked up. So first thing they're going to do is totally reconfigure it, and then they're going to close it. So, okay, sorry for the false advertising for people who, whatever. We just got through the Thorn part, but honestly, the Pascack Valley stuff's probably going to be way more interesting than the Thorn stuff, because, again, I've done the Thorn thing multiple times. So, Anyway, these aren't the greatest resolution. That's why I'm not looking to edit them in any way, shape, or form. So this is after the Secaucus connection has opened. So that you'll know that today, that giant Lautenberg station right off New Jersey Turnpike, exit 15X. They what used to be two different lines, the main line and the Bergen County line, would split at West End Junction, and one of them would go along Croxton Yard, the other one would go on its thing. You can still see it, that's on. It's basically one end of the Secaucus connection was one track, and the other end of the platform was the other. I thought what they were going to do, this would have made sense, would have been to have, mainline trains have a platform, have a stairway at one end, and the Bergen County line trains would have a stairway at the other end, and that would make sense. But no, they NJT is not great with money. They love spending it. So what they did was realign the BCL so it would then make this. Oh, I should pull this up. It would make this ridiculous S curve. Yeah, it's better if you guys can see it. It sounded like the most logical thing ever, and then they just ruined it. So here's the current Secaucus connection station. Yeah, great. You have this little train hall above everything. You can have the automated fare gates for people who like to jerk off to that. There's the old Bergen County line would go through right here. There's the right. It ran on this side of the yard, or one of the sides of the yard. And I thought they were just going to have the station would have had one set of stairs there, and the platform would have extended all the way, and they would have had just another set of stairs there, so people could have accessed it from both sides of the platform. I guess that involves walking. So anyway, they closed off. Yeah, you can see where the old Bergen County line went. It's this grass strip through the middle of the. Uh-oh, something happened. Whoa, there's a bridge collapse down south in CTEC 1 territory. Right hot off the newswire. Track A and 1 are out of service. Grove to Bridge. Oh, that's not good. Anywho. What's going on here? So sorry. What was I doing? Okay, so there's your Secaucus connection. So instead of having a straight shot, the Bergen County line has to come up here, makes this bonzo S curve, and then it's back on the HX drawbridge. And then you get on your Pascack Valley line, and then if you want to go to the sports complex, it curves around again. So, if you're going to a Giants game, you've got all the curves in the world. One second. So anyway, here, let me see if I can get this. So this is leaving the Secaucus connection at the interlocking there, and that is a Comet 1 a cab car that I cannot tell the number of, but I can always just go and. One second. Comet 1. Let's see if this gets me to where I need to be. Damn it, not the airplane. There you go. I just need the numbers. Oops. I need to find the numbers for the cab cars, for the Comet 1s. They used to tell you on this. Did some dipshit remove them? Blah, 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 blah. Comet 1s. Whatever. Oh, it's the 5100 series. That's right. Anyway, sorry to get this going, but let's just NJT 51XX Secaucus connection. CAUCAS. Let's make sure I'm spelling that right. SECAUCUS. Okay. Here we are on the Secaucus S-curve with a Metro North Comet 5. Can't read the number, of course, because they wouldn't put it on the front, you know, like a sane person. Fleet numbers. What's the number? Oh, it probably a 6700 series for Metro North. All right, cool. I love low resolution photos. Where is that? There it is. Oh, nice new PL42. Those are going out of service. Again, NJT loves to spend your money. Finally, we're on the HX drawbridge. Is New Jersey Transit north-south or east-west? I think it's north-south. No, it appears to be east-west. Yeah, it would be new east-west. HX, it's going westbound. HX is like the beefiest bridge they still got. It's not super impressive by span, but I think it's still their neatest movable bridge. Especially because you got HX Tower, which even in 2004-7 was not looking so good there. Once you get holes in the roof, that's just bad. Probably, hopefully the asbestos is keeping them from wanting to deal with that. HX. Oops. There we go. HX was an Erie tower. I don't know what was in it. We can use my wonderful tower reference here to see what was in HX. HX Hackensack draw, blah blah blah, steam engine, blah blah blah, winter. GRS pistol grip machine. There you go. Model 2. 88 lever machine. That's not a lot for a GRS pistol grip. Looks like it controlled some stuff out toward the... What the heck? How many spares? Oh, 55 spares. No wonder. Anyway. Next. Now we're on the new... Oh, this is the interlocking that gets you to the Pascack Valley line. Which would be Pascack Junction. And because they're starting the re-signaling, they've got the seaboards up. This was the first... The Pascack Valley line was New Jersey Transit's first experimentation or line with Rule 562 operation. This is also before all the BS with PTC, so it was not induced by that in any way. This was just something that they're going to start moving to. NJT had been one of the PASCACK had been one of the biggest proponents of, what is it? I can't see what that other thing. Probably a limited clear there. Track 1 limited clear. Track 1 limited clear. They had loved block signals in the very short, closely spaced, like line side block signals too, all the way up through the 90s. Raritan Valley Line, Atlantic City Line, Maine and Bergen, when that got resignaled, very closely spaced block signals, but then they definitely ditched it with the starting in 2007. Now we're on the Pascack Valley, I believe. This would be... Oh, this is sport. I believe it is. No, it's got three things. Where's the triple one? This is plank interlocking, not sport. I just can't find it. This diagram's a little out of date. Yeah, so this is plank. Yep. Should have just looked at the diagram. Oh, it's track 2. So before the Pascack Valley Line was rebuilt, it was a single track that went from Pascack Junction all the way to Spring Valley. That was all. There was you literally could not run a reverse service on it because there was only one track, like 13 miles long. There was no passing sidings at all. All they would do is run a bunch of train sets down in the morning, then collect those train sets back. Pascack Valley Line was also the site of the first PTC experiment, was something called the predecessor to Access, the SES Speed Enforcement System. Siemens interlocking. SEAMANS. It was transponder based. I'm not sure it controlled like civil speeds. It might have, but one second. But apparently it didn't work very well. I mean, how do you scoop a transponder system? From what I heard, it was just super sensitive. If you were anything over the speed limit, there was an immediate penalty break application. The only thing they did, they used the Pascack Valley Line because this happened after they had a colorblind engineer run a red signal on the near West End interlocking. Minor accident in the 90s. Some people might have died, but it wasn't anything like gruesome. And the FRA wanted them to do a pilot of some sort of PTC system. This was the line. This was declared to be the sacrificial line, and they installed it. And the only locomotives they equipped were the old CNJ GP40Ps, whatever you call them today, PHs. They're still, which are also still in service, because they could create a captive fleet just for the line, and it mattered very little. So, by the way, here's one of the new passing sidings on the line. This is for east and west. This is the Sac passing siding. There's also the Cole passing siding and the Pond passing siding. So they went from no passing sidings to 3 passing sidings in a line that is Oh, it's actually 30 miles long. Oh, it's longer than you think it is. So there you go. One every 10 miles. Oh, 30 miles. Sorry, I mean it's 30 miles from Hoboken. It's actually 22 miles long from Pascack Junction. So anyway, here's East Sac. What's this road crossing? Malcolm Avenue. West Sac here with the main track. Main track clear. And finally we get to the coal siding, and I told you these pictures are neat because they're in this half-open state where the line wasn't fully resignaled. It was only resignaled to the coal siding, and the rest, the old Erie signals, were still in place. So let's see. That's what we have. We got this little restricting into the siding here, which is odd. I would have figured they would have given that a. Would that have been is that a medium clear or oh, I can't tell because you don't know if it's flashing. I'm going to assume that it's medium approach. So yeah, you can see there's the flash and the unflash. So yeah, they put the speed enforcement system thing. I know I've been looking. I cannot find. I have so far been unable to find details on how it worked, what the technology was. I mean, I'm sure it was I know it was transponder based. That's the only thing, but I don't know if it was like. It was, they did something with just like an automatic train stop style thing that you just pass the transponder and it pops you. I do not know what it involved or what the hardware was. It was ripped out at some point. Oh, this is coal. And here we are. Wait, what happened? How'd that work? Where'd the train go? Did we have to do a saw-by? This might have been a deadhead, by the way. That's very strange because we clearly have a train on the siding. We're clearly routed into the siding, but then we're back on the main. I said maybe they couldn't get out maybe the interlocking wasn't working and they had to back out and try it again. This is most puzzling. Sorry. Let's see what anecdotes I have. 1 second. Okay. What the? Okay, now we're back into the Erie signaling zone. They had odd signals here with a J. So this is 16. Oh, milepost 16-1 J from Jersey City. Not a great one. So anyway, NJT PVL This is like the only time I'll ever have a reason to talk about PVL block signals, because they don't exist anymore. 16-1J northbound. Oops, not northbound. It's westbound mast clear, and it's soft. And let's see what station that is. That station would be River Edge. Of all the things you had to get a bad picture of, that looks like this just looks like the same River Edge station. Oh wait, what does that say? Yep, River Edge. See if anybody has any questions. Hope we didn't screw anything up. Let me know if you have any questions. So yeah, it's just crazy that you had for who knows how many years just this out and back line. He was Oradell station. Here's a closer view. I did ride the PVL once. I had to catch a bus back to the George Washington Bridge bus terminal from there. The crew, it was early 2000s. I think the conductor bitched at us for taking pictures. Of course, that's the Emerson station. So, TPVL signal 19-1J. Oh, that's also clear. And Emerson Station. I say none of these pictures show me enough track to see if there's any sort of transponder down there. Also, I think that some of these are USNS TRs. The first one, that 17 one, looked like it had a big, like a large, yeah, that's definitely a TR. Then we're back to the style N or R elephant ears, as I call them. And then this is back to another, if that might not be a TR, that might just be a newer NR replacement. This is the Hillsdale station. I have a picture of that I took from the bus. The bus would parallel the line back, so you could actually get pictures of the station as the bus snaked back along it. The 21-3. So why is it -3? I don't know. And Woodcliff Lake. Oh, finally, here we go. I can't quite see. So that might, I'm not sure, that could be related to the speed enforcement system thing right there. That could be a transponder based whatever. The line had an interesting, it was, like I said, it was bidirectional, but it would be one of those, like, it was either CTC controlled with, the dispatcher would have a controlled signal at either end and it would just flop the whole line up, or it used some kind of like block occupancy system where the first train in the block would flip it all down. I don't know. So again, I'm not sure those are transponders or just little track circuity, things involved with the track circuit. This is the 23-1J, and there's the signals were also staggered. They were not in pairs, as you have probably noticed. (23-1) Park Ridge Station. Am I getting all the directions in? No, I'm not getting the directions in. Okay, there we go. Montvale. This is a replacement, as is totally obvious, the 25-1 signal. Pearl River Station. We got something. Oh, here we go. It looks like they temporarily did put in the CTC. So before they finished the whole cab signaling, they did kit bash in the pond interlocking as well. So there you go. That's interesting. (25-3J). Yeah, I had to bash up a whole new sign with a quirky little font there. That is not a standard font. East Pond with a medium clear. Another Metro North 6700 series. And heading out on the siding. West Pond. (4005). This is really new at this time. I guess it's, they really got the PVL, because I wrote it like in 2002 or 2003, I think 2002, and it was still that just crappy service. But just a few, within 5 years, they got it up and running to at least midday service. This is going to be definitely at Spring Valley. And that is going to be your holdout signal for the yard, which is Spring, CP Spring. NJT uses the proper nomenclature for CPs. It's only a signal that's a point, not interlocking. Oh, I have all the numbers for signals and switches and stuff. I should have been using those. Ah, well, I'll deal with it later. I think that's going to be everything. All right, thank you so much. I might just go through here and what do I got? Oh, that's gone crazy. 2W, 2... Okay. Oh. That's your problem. Let's see if I picked up any questions. Phoenix. Yeah, great. I didn't get a ton of railroad content. Got some pictures of there's a CTC machine they'd set up in the window. They have on display at the Tucson passenger station. That was pretty interesting. What else? Yeah, I caught a little bit of action on the UP, former Southern Pacific Transcon, but there's just not a lot. Not a lot of. I didn't really do any. There's so little in the area that I didn't really run around and have a lot to see or do. I mean, signaling related. Went to Saguaro National Park. That was super fun. One second. Oh, crap. But yeah, that worked out pretty well. Hopefully, whoops. Sorry, one second. 2-1. So anyway, that's all I got for today. Yeah, the SP steamer. It's there. It's all behind bars, though. You can't get any shot. I mean, I got pictures of that when I was on the Sunset, and you can't get a photo. I mean, you can get a photo of the front, but you can't get anything from the side because it's behind this palisade of iron fence bars. I don't know. I mean, I guess it looks cute that way or something. Anyway, that's everything I got. I should probably call it a day here. I'll fill up. I'll fix up all the signal names that I screwed up later. Tune in tomorrow. Early. I mean, when I say earlier, I mean about probably 10 o'clock. I'm going to be I'll put a poll up or something. I'm going to be doing something with the Kinwood line, or probably tomorrow I'm going to be doing Aurora. The other photos that were taken on that Aurora trip that I did a while ago when I went to Chicago. Well, that's why I said my friend had gotten a cab ride, and I could have ridden in that too, but I just wasn't. I wasn't, heads upping. I don't know what the heck I was thinking. I think I didn't want to queer the deal with him getting a cab ride by asking or being that guy. But he not only has film photos from that cab ride. I actually just discovered the digital photos that he had of that cab ride. And I have a full set of Aurora Line cab video photos that I'm going to be going through tomorrow. So it's about 135, so I'm going to try to get through them all. But it should be pretty fun. So join me tomorrow for Aurora Line, CB&Q signals, and all that stuff. And we'll try to power through that tomorrow, because that should be pretty fun. So, and then the last day, I'm looking to do something with those Kinwood line photos. Wherever those are. I probably just have them I took the drive out. I have them somewhere. Where? Hold on. I want to see what state they're in. Do I have to process these at all? Maybe. So we'll see what I do with these Kinwood line ones. That might be for the last night, and that might be a little bit longer. As I think I'm gonna have to actually go through these a bit more. No, but they're so small. Like, oh, they just need to be like batch processed, I think. Whatever. I'll figure it out. I'll see you guys tomorrow. You guys stay safe, and remember, Aurora. I'm gonna do Aurora line first. So where's that thing? What's going on here? Pittsburgh Drake line. Wait. Oh, the Drake. I try to steal parts is my guess. Oh, I'm sure they have reasons, but you just can't take any photos from it. Which limits that. That's one of the issues with a lot of display locomotives, that you just can't get a good photo of them. It's like, hey, this thing. Not only is it stuffed and on display, but you can't get any good photo. The 47 Drake, which I think is still there, was just simply a vestigial part of the old streetcar network that was retained. It was mainly it's now used for testing and I think driver training. But at the time, it was just one of those things where the line was. I think they had always used it for driver training and testing, but it also had like 5 riders. But that's all. I used to know more about it. Anyway, I should get going. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. All right. See you. Thank you so much for attending. See you then. Later. Bye.